How's it going, guys? May 30th, 6:10 p.m. here on the East Coast. Still putting up vlogs for today. I canceled my dog training, so I'm able to focus on these vlogs. It started raining around here, thunderstorming and stuff, so I don't blame them. But, excuse me. I wanted to talk about this vlog will be called Hard Work Pays Off. So, I've been working on this project, or yeah, I guess you could call it that. It was something that I was working on for the last couple of months, and I was kind of deterred in the beginning to do it. Although I knew I wanted to do it. I knew I had to do it, but I just took some time doing it. So, um, in getting it done, it took some time, and I was led to believe that this process would take a lot longer um, than it would. Than I was led to believe it would take 5 years to get this process done. Needless to say, I've kind of been on the ball with things. I got it done a couple months after initiating it. So I started the process. For people who know me, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you don't, I just don't want to get into specific details because I don't want to assign blame to anybody or embellish anything. So, um, like I said, I was told that it would take 5 years to get this process done, and I got it done a couple months after initiating the process. I initiated the process in March, and we are in May. March, April, May, the end of May. So let's say 3 months at most to get this process done, 90 days. And it has been a challenging process to get done, although I took care of it, and things always in my life always work out, and I can't stress that enough. That I have a very optimistic view on life, and I think that everything in my life works out. Therefore, it does. And I can't express that or explain that enough. That people need to understand that everything in your life happens for a reason, and things work out exactly when they need to. So I was able to finish up things. I just got my official letter in the mail stating that things kind of works out in my favor, and was really looking forward to this letter. I was even, even if it would have taken 5 years, I would have waited. That's kind of commitment I had to get this done, and if it would have taken a while, then so be it. So um, know that hard work and doing your due diligence does pay off. Sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes you may be led to believe it could take 5 years. And I was willing to sign up for that commitment. I actually did sign up for that commitment and there were shorter routes around this in order to sideline it and do things that could have maybe happened quicker. But I'm so happy that I decided to do what I decided to do and not listen to the suggestions that were given to me, because I ended up getting the result I wanted in a much quicker time, probably 1/16 of the time that it should have taken, according to the information that got passed along to me. So, I did want to tell you that although people may tell you things, they're just suggestions. They may try to deviate you from whatever it is that you're trying to do. And I just stuck to my guns and told them that I wanted to do it this way, and that this is the way we were going to get it done. I just needed their help and their representation in assisting me and representing me in trying to get what I wanted done. Although it would take the time, and the representation was free of cost to me and free to them, having them on my side would just make the process go a lot more smoothly and a lot easier. And everything was done, even quicker than I could have imagined. I'm so happy and so grateful to them to be able to stick by me. Although, like I said, initially it was kind of a deterrent and kind of a letdown, but I was willing to commit 5 years to the project if that's what it took. I was not going to shy away from 5 years to get it done. So, very happy the way it worked out. Hard work does always pay off. You need to stay on top of things that you really want to accomplish. Having set goals in mind and timelines to accomplish them is also very important too. But no, don't shy away from hard work. Don't shy away from a challenge. Don't let people persuade you to do something else too that you know this is how you want something done. The recommendations that were given to me initially they would have limited me in ways that I didn't want to be limited, and I didn't want that in my life. I wanted to do something some way and not have it limiting either, and I was able to accomplish that on my own accordance, obviously with their help, but on my own accordance with my own judgment still intact. I didn't have to sacrifice anything other than maybe more time that it could have possibly taken, but it didn't. So know that hard work does pay off. Stay with the grind. Don't shy away from it. And just because somebody tells you something doesn't necessarily make it true. That is their opinion. That is their suggestion. And I know kind of how things were operating before, prior to, so I didn't foresee it taking much longer than it did. My guesstimate was 6 months. When he told me 5 years, that's just 6 months. I didn't tell him that's what I thought it would take. That was just my guesstimate and having previous experience with it. But it taking half that is obviously all well and good and surely invited. Um, but know that I stuck to my own agenda. I didn't stick to theirs. And although their agenda did sound enticing at times, it just wasn't the right call for me to make. And it conflicted with some internal conflicts that I had as to whether or not I should do that. I just thought that I shouldn't do that for the benefit of everybody. So things did work out. They worked out a lot quicker than I thought. And things always work out, and they always will work out in your life as well, as long as you have that determination and you stick to your guns whenever it comes to making decisions and taking care of things, even if it requires a long-term commitment. Like I said, I signed up for it, knowing that it might take 5 years. It didn't matter to me. It was a matter of importance to me, and I stuck to it, and it happened in a matter of 3 months, so less than 1/10 of the time. So I appreciate you guys watching, liking, commenting, subscribing. Things are constantly looking up for me. I got a bunch of things looking forward here. Obviously, expecting twins sometime. The official due date is November, but obviously twins don't necessarily make it full term like single babies do. So we're actually expecting in October, which would add to the already surplus amount of October birthdays in this family. There's just a ton. So I appreciate you guys watching, liking, commenting, subscribing. Know that things in your life will consistently look up if you think they will. I can't stress that enough. It's what you think and the decisions you make that will impact your immediate, current, and future endeavors. And I always think that things will work out. But I notice this pattern. If I think they'll work out exactly when they're supposed to, then they will. If I think they'll work out sooner and I devote more time to them, like I did on this last project, it did happen sooner than I expected. And it was just a matter because I changed my thinking about it. And some people may deliberate with that and think that what you think doesn't attract that. But I challenge you to think about a person that you haven't thought about in a long time and let me know if you see that person within the next couple of months. Just thinking about them will attract them into your life. I can almost guarantee it. And if you've never had that happen to you, I know of a ton of people, almost 90% of people that I talk to, and I try to share this experience with them about how their thinking does attract things. I try to use something that's impartial, that's neither positive nor negative, but you think of a person that you haven't seen in a while, and suddenly you see them. That's the power of thought, and that's the power of attraction that I'm trying to represent here. So, and that's something that people can easily understand. You always look for a connection when mentoring, and when you can be able to connect and relate, that's when people start necessarily believing. So again, think of a person you haven't seen in a while, sometime in your life, whether you thought of a person that you haven't seen in a while or not, and if you saw them after you thought about them. And that same law applies to so many different things. So if you want something good to happen in your future, obviously, if it has some work related to it, get the work done and then be patient and wait like I did. And if you want to see something or do something, think about that thing and work towards that effort. But the power of attraction is truly a power that's a wrecking force to be messed with, and it will attract both the good and the bad in your life. So if you think about negative things, you'll be constantly surrounded by that. If you think about positive things, you'll be constantly surrounded by that. And knowing that everything in my life works out sometimes sooner than expected, it's really a powerful force in my life, and something I will never take for granted, and think of positive things to come in my life consistently and frequently to have those things happen in my life. So I appreciate you guys watching. Still at 67 subscribers. Was trying to reach 75 by the end of the month. We'll see if I get there by the end of tomorrow. I'm still kind of an optimistic person, but I'm also a realist. Don't know if that's going to happen. And the increase of subscribers has kind of dwindled over the last couple of months, but I will keep making these videos. I'm not. I'm very interested in my subscribers, but they don't stop me or enable me to record, if that makes sense. So I just like to see that more people find the information useful. That really impacts me. So appreciate you guys watching, liking, comments, and subscribing, and I will see you guys on the next one.